The Sikh community, as we often say, the reason why they are such a target of people like the RSS and the Indian state is because they will always stand up to persecution, they will always stand up for injustice, they will always stand up for minorities who are persecuted by any totalitarian regime. And this is why here in London, the Sikh community turned out in force against the arrival of Dr. Jaishankar, the External Affairs Minister. He's, of course, the External Affairs Minister of India, who was visiting London to give a presentation to an organisation called Chatham House. Now, Dr. Jaishankar is part, obviously, of the BJP government. He is quite a controversial figure. He is accused by the Sikh community of forming a fundamental part, a pillar, a foundation, let's call it, of this transnational repression policy that is seeing Sikh men murdered overseas, intimidated, harassed and murdered by the Indian state. So as a result, unsurprisingly, the Sikh community mobilised itself, as it often does so wonderfully, to protest his arrival at Chatham House. Now, Chatham House is it's a very well-known think tank in London. It is actually it is a pretty unbiased, a pretty impartial think tank. It does produce a lot of very powerful and influential information pieces. It produces a lot of reports and documents that are widely respected. Of course, they are therefore very influential. So when somebody like Dr. Jaishankar presents to Chatham House, it does raise concerns because his input may influence Chatham House and, of course, the reports that they produce, which in turn will influence government policy. So this is why it was really important that Jaishankar's arrival was met by the Sikh community to highlight the fact that this guy is not who he claims. This guy is part of a rogue regime, and a regime that is not democratic, that does not stand on top of a democratic nation, that is pushing a policy that is essentially written and controlled by the RSS, an extremist right-wing nationalist community. And they therefore do not represent a nation that should be respected and received by a think tank as well respected as Chatham House. So I'm delighted to say that Jaishankar was indeed met by a large sea of Khalistan flags